Okay.
But we're not going live on the radio for another couple seconds. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, cool. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Triple Threat Show on WXJM 88.7 FM, Harrisonburg, Virginia, and WXJM.org. My name is Jeremy Lapidus, host of this Triple Threat Show, joined as always by my three friends and co-hosts,
Shane Brisland.
Peter Kegwin.
and
Caleb
is
Carney.
here.
I
Forgot we were doing that.
I was like, somebody's gonna do it.
You can check us out on YouTube at The Triple Threat Show, where this is currently being live streamed. You can check us out on Twitter at 3 Threat Show, and you can check us out on Instagram at The Triple Threat Show. They're also on the Triple Threat YouTube channel. There are two other shows hosted by me and Hayden, if you would like to go check them out.
Can you flip the blue and the orange light up? Because they just shine directly in my face.
Oh,
Sick.
anyway,
Not
before...
Sick.
Before we get into the happenings in sports this week, how's everybody's week been? How's everyone been?
Busy.
Busy.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I mean, I'm winding down college. Life of an engineering college student. Busy.
Fair.
Especially senior year.
I'm just debating on whether to drive to Haymarket just to, I haven't skated in a while, and I feel like the wrist can survive a skating session, so...
I'd hope so. You skating on your wrist or something?
Well, it's more shooting a puck, but...
Well, yeah.
A stick and shoot,
I think,
sorry.
I think just skating would be fine with your wrist.
Yeah.
Just getting back in the habit, because you don't know how rusty you're going to be. You don't want to fall over.
No, well, when I went to that practice like almost 2 months ago, yeah, I felt a little bit off balance, but I still felt pretty good for the most part. It's just I couldn't shoot a puck. I've tried stick handling and shooting a bit a few weeks ago, and it was fine. So I kind of want to see, all right, let's see if we can, bring it all back together. So I'm looking forward to that this weekend.
I remember that during spring break. You were like, I'm tired. I'm just going to go stick handle.
In the garage, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that was your wake up, but I thought it was a
Well, because it was just
routine.
I was very much worried about I didn't want to gain a bunch of weight over spring break, so that's why I was just making it a point to work out and
That's fair,
stick
that's fair.
handle, just so I could do some strengthening
Yeah,
and gives me some confidence.
that's fair.
What about you, Peter? What have you been up to?
I'm good.
He's been farming. He's farming.
I mean, this is just comfortable clothing.
He's got a little accent going now.
I'm
Comfortable.
I'm gonna be made fun of for. I'm gonna. Every single thing is now gonna sound more country because I'm wearing what I'm wearing.
It's just how it is sometimes, Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you got the white t-shirt, jeans, and a hat, you're missing the boots.
These are dress shoes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's funny.
I'm comfortable.
And that's what matters.
That's all that
Yeah.
matters, as long as you're comfortable.
As long as you're happy.
Working on.
Whatever makes you happy.
On the field, apparently.
Working on. This is next week is the last week before I can turn in my startup. So
You're making a startup?
yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to start up his tractor.
And you keep on trying to start up that wrist, but it ain't working.
Oh.
It'll get there eventually.
But last week for it, so it's been a really, really stressful time. But yeah.
Cool.
What are we talking about first today, Jeremy?
We're gonna jump right into it.
Baseball.
You nailed it. I was gonna do a whole transition, but I guess we're here.
Baseball.
Anyway, I'm gonna say it anyway, because it's important. Opening day is tomorrow, guys. Opening day of the MLB season is tomorrow. So, as a good radio show will do, we're gonna do predictions. This segment is of course brought to you by our good friend Hayden Raymer, who prepared for multiple people in this room.
Thanks, Ed.
I don't know about you, Caleb. I know he was going to reach out to you, but At least 2 of you guys have been sponsored by Hayden Raymer for this segment.
That's fair.
Hayden didn't really send me stuff.
Well,
I think he
I was going to
forgot.
say this one anyways.
Yeah, he said pick. No, he later. I was like, just give me something.
Yeah, no, he never reached out to me, but I already had a pick in mind, so it's okay.
All right. So we're just gonna go division by division to start. Do you guys have the divisions?
Yeah,
Yes,
I'd
I
like
do.
to start with NL East.
Okay, that's an excellent place to start.
Yeah.
Peter, what are
Braves.
your thoughts on the NL East?
You know, I think that it's the Braves' division to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that they've got a good tangent going, and they're going to be really great this year. Thanks, Hayden.
What about you, Caleb? Who do you have winning the?
I just like the Braves,
Yeah,
so I'm biased towards them, so I'm just going to say Braves.
that's fair. Shane, do
I
you have
have the
picks?
Mets.
You have the Mets.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. That's a good
All
pick.
I know about the Mets is that didn't they just threw money at a bunch of free
Yep.
agents?
Yeah, that's what they did. They've
like
got
big name players.
got
And I'm
like the richest owner in all of sports, and
Yeah.
he's actually spending his money.
So I feel like if you throw enough money at good players, maybe something will turn out well.
Oh no, they've got a very good team.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is between the Braves and the Mets here.
I will say I think the Nationals are going to finish last. So.
That's that's fair. The Nats are maybe the worst team in all of baseball this year, so that'll be fun. But they get all the young guys. They're the
You think
start
the
of a
Phillies
rebuild.
have a chance?
They're too injured, I think. They just lost. Bryce Harper's not going to be back till June, and they just lost their first baseman Rhys Hoskins for the season.
Oof.
So, they have the pieces. They could, but they're a little too hurt to compete with the Mets and the Phillies for the division.
Who's
They-
the bottom of the division?
The Nats.
The Nats?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We literally just said
They
this.
suck.
Oh yeah.
They suck
Like,
so much.
Nobody's even mentioned the last team. There's 5 teams.
The Marlins are going to be okay.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah, they're going to be
But they're
fine.
not as bad as the Nationals.
No, nowhere close. The Marlins have like maybe the best pitching in the entire league. They just can't hit the ball for anything. So,
I mean, which would you rather have though? Like really good hitting or really good pitching?
I would rather have really good pitching, but you need some hitting.
Gotcha.
You can't win every game 0-0. Your pitchers are going to get tagged for at least 1 run.
What's what do you think the margin of the Nats being the worst team on that division is going to be?
They're going to be behind the Marlins by about 15 games.
That's rough, actually.
Yeah,
You think they're that bad?
I think they're that bad.
I would say the Chicago Blackhawks of the Major League right now.
Did you just chat GPT? Pick a MLB team to win the World Series and tell me why. Chat GPT selects Los Angeles Dodgers.
Hey, that's my analysis.
But yeah, I've got the Braves.
Get your own chat, Jimmy. analysis.
I've got the Braves winning this division. I think both them and the Mets are going to win 100 games this season because both of those teams are that good.
The Braves won just 2.
They both won 100 games last year.
No, won the World Series.
Won the
though.
series.
Like
No, the
Two-
Mets beat the.
No.
Sorry,
No,
the
no,
Braves
2
won that
years
series.
ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we just going over division
Super.
winners right now, and then
Yeah.
we'll circle back? To
and then we'll
wild
circle back to
cards?
wild card.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
National League Center.
dude, you're reading my brain. It's really good. National League Central. We'll go in a circle here. Who do you have? What do you have? Start. We'll start with Shane.
I've got the Cardinals.
You got the Cardinals.
Yeah, because St. Louis is usually a good baseball team, so I think they'll go. Didn't they win the division last year?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so I think why not do it again?
Why not?
I'm going to go with the Brewers.
The Brewers.
Yeah.
Why the Brewers, Peter?
They got a good name. I feel like they have some strong players this year. They're not an old wash team like the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that Cardinals team young? I really hope they're young. No,
Nah, they're pretty old.
Okay.
I'm right every
coming,
time.
Coming from Peter.
Too easy.
Coming from Peter, I was really hoping that he was just
Too
raw.
easy.
Did he
I'm
give
always
you?
ready.
How much information did he give
Oh
you?
no, Hayden literally said pick. It says like just
Pick
choose
between the two?
Yeah, pick between the two, and then for the World Series, it says one of those from the NL West and one of those from the AL East. I was really considering picking like a different team from the NL West to win the division and the other side to win the World Series.
You can do that. That actually might happen.
So, realistically, I think Shane's right. I think it'd be really funny if the Cubs found a way to do it.
No.
It'd be really funny.
It would be hilarious.
Because they're like a solid second, maybe third. They're really a solid third team. Maybe
They're like
second.
the epitome of mid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think it'd be really funny. They're the epitome of make the wild card consistently season after season.
No. They're not that good.
No, they're not.
No.
Well, especially with how
They're
there are
usually-
less teams in the MLB make playoffs. So.
Yeah. They're usually like the middle team. Like
Yeah.
they are the central. They are the central
Central of the
team.
Central, yeah.
Yeah.
And
But no.
well, so
In
I know we
order-
said.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, I know we said that the Nationals are going to be the worst team in baseball, but
Oh,
don't
man.
the Reds? Aren't the Reds pretty close?
I won't guarantee they're the worst team in baseball, but they're
Yeah.
pretty down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty far down there.
So I would say the Reds are also like a safe bet to finish.
Yeah,
at
the Reds are
bottom
going to
of
be
that
real bad
division.
too. Both of those teams are going to be stinky.
Do the Pirates have any
Did
hope?
you
Or are
just
they?
say
No,
stinky?
Pirates
I
are
did.
Pirates should be
I
pretty
regretted
low.
it immediately.
But Jeremy's not paying attention.
No, I am. The Pirates will be fine. They've got some prospects. They'll be like
They're gonna be too young.
yeah. They're like a year or two away.
Wow, Pittsburgh sports right now are just not great.
Yeah, they'll be good soon. Steelers are coming back.
Yeah, Steelers are definitely coming back.
I think
Not in that division.
The Pirates are coming back. Yeah.
I think the Reds will be the bottom of that one. The
Mhm.
Pirates might have a chance depending on how
Nah,
their young players play.
I think the Pirates are a league above the Reds.
That's not saying much.
No, it's not. It's not. But yeah, I think they are. I've got the Cardinals winning the division. It comes
I forgot
down
we didn't ask Jeremy.
simply to the fact that they have two of the top 3 MVP vote getters from last season on their team, and also their outfield is so good that they have a top prospect they called up, and they don't have space for him. Like, they quite literally do not have space to play him, but he's, like, really good.
It's a good problem to have.
It's a great problem to have. So, yeah, the Cardinals are going to win that division pretty easily. The Brewers, good team. Again, they're kind of like the Marlins, except they have slightly better bats. So, they can compete.
I believe in Hayden, even though Hayden would probably pick the Cardinals. But
Well, if you want to know what Hayden picked, you can listen to our baseball show, Rounding Third, that we recorded last night.
why isn't it rounding first?
Because I thought Rounding Third sounded better.
Triple threat.
Yeah, because rounding third means you're heading home.
Exactly.
It's the triple threat show.
Yeah.
There's a lot of threes everywhere.
We're-
You gotta be consistent.
We're big three people.
We're a big three crew.
I'm a big 3 guy.
All right, so let's do some simple math. 1,
Uh-huh.
2,
Uh-huh.
3,
Uh-huh.
4.
3.
Uh-huh.
3. 1,
you
2,
two-
3, 3.
You two
Hayden
count as
is
one
3.
person.
We count as one person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have the combined knowledge of Hayden for sports. I'm sorry, but like,
Not at basketball. I definitely have the most knowledge when it comes to basketball here.
general sports knowledge,
That's probably true. Yeah,
me and you combined are just Hayden.
that's probably true.
Yeah.
Let's move on
Should I
to
say
the
what's
NL
next?
West.
Yeah. What's
The
next?
National League West?
Yeah, the National League West.
West. All right. Let's
Caleb.
Let's start with Peter here.
Peter.
He's got a little bit of a chat GPT.
Oh, Peter, you're a big fan of the NL West.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Specifically
Who's gonna
the
win?
Dodgers.
Yeah.
They have a solid roster with key players such as Clayton Kershaw, Corey Seager, Cody Bellinger,
Nope.
Mookie Betts, and Walker Buehler.
Dude,
Bueller.
most of those guys aren't even on the team anymore.
They also have a strong bullpen and a solid defense. They also have such great consistency. The Dodgers have been one of the most consistent teams in recent years, making it to the World Series in 3 out of the last 4 seasons. They have a winning culture and know how to perform under pressure.
Dude, half of those people aren't on the Dodgers anymore.
Guys,
Don't you think that a computer model knows more than you, Jeremy?
Corey Seager hasn't been on the Dodgers in
Stop
2
it.
years.
Recent form. The Dodgers have been in excellent form recently.
Cody Bellinger got signed by the Cubs this offseason.
Winning 10 of their last 12 games in the regular season. This momentum could carry over into the playoffs and give them a boost.
let's be honest, guys. The absolute best team in that division is definitely the Rockies. It is absolutely. I can't even keep a straight face anymore. No, it's probably. Probably the Padres.
I've got the Padres too.
It'd be Padres.
I
think Rockies might actually be the worst team in that division.
Oh, by far. It's not really that close.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
That segment was.
I love how the entire
supported by, not sponsored by, ChatGPT. Not a sponsor.
we
Only
have-
supporting.
Gotta
like
go
all
up to
the National
GBD4.
League teams, the worst team in the divisions was a lot easier. Is really easy to predict.
Yeah. Jeremy, who do you got?
I've got the Padres. They have, like, arguably 4 of the top 10 players in the league on their team when you know, they're not suspended.
They're not doing steroids.
Yeah. You know, you got Fernando Tatis, Juan Soto, Manny Machado, and, I mean, Brandon Drury's pretty good. He's not top 10. But, you know, and then that pitching staff's real good. The Dodgers are a very, very good team, but I'm going to give the Padres the slight edge here in my personal rankings.
That's fair.
Do you want to do NL wildcards now, or do you want to move on to the AL?
I think we'll do the American League.
All right, cool. We'll start in the AL East.
Let's start with Jeremy.
Oh my God, me?
Yeah.
I've got the Tampa Bay Rays winning the AL East this year.
the Rays.
The Rays.
That's not even on my list.
The Rays? Yeah, I've got the Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh, wait. Call Jeremy out. Dury isn't a Padre. He's an Angel now.
Oh, dude, he totally is. Oh.
Oh.
What does
Thank
this
you,
guy
Hayden.
know?
Thank you, Hayden. Thank you so much, Hayden. I love you. You are the best. So you have the Rays.
Yes.
Okay.
I have
Doing
the Tampa
some
Bay
very
Rays.
brief research. I did not see anyone have
Rays.
the Rays that high.
I consistently see.
Blue Jays, Yankees, yeah.
Blue Jays, Yankees.
Yeah, but let me tell you a little
Rays,
bit about the
I
Rays.
consistently see them at
and
4.
and then I see the Orioles, ahead of them most of the time too.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous and wrong, because you know what all those people are looking at? They're looking at last season, where half of the Rays roster was gone because of injuries. Now they're back, and you know what happened, Peter?
What?
They still made the playoffs. Imagine what they can do
wow.
with a healthy season of Wander Franco. You have, really, the Rays just are like, they're so good. They're just so good. They're going to be healthy. They're going to be so good. The Yankees are not going to have, Aaron Judge is going to, like, not do what he did last season.
He's not gonna have 60 home runs.
No.
Yeah.
He's
no,
good.
He's gonna have 62. And then I'm gonna catch that baseball and I'm gonna sell it for $5 million instead of the guy who sold it for $3 million last year.
But no, he's not going to do what he did last year, so the Yankees are going to have a step back. Plus, they're already hurt. The Blue Jays are a very, very good team, but I think the Rays are just too well-rounded for them to lose this division if they stay healthy.
If they stay
Yes,
healthy.
that's always the if.
Yeah.
All right, I now have Hayden's picks. So Hayden chose the Yankees.
Yes, he did.
So
I choose the Yankees.
Yeah.
everyone just immediately bandwagons Hayden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have 3 of Hayden.
Well, the only thing I knew about the Yankees was because Aaron Judge was really popping off last season, and then they got him re-signed to a large contract, and then Hayden told me, and the Yankees got better. So I'm just like,
Hayden
well, that's
says the Yanks improved more than the Rays in this past couple of years.
I disagree.
I'm
I
gonna
think
believe Hayden.
specifically this offseason, the Rays got better than the Yankees because just of health.
Just for people who don't know, Hayden is obsessed with baseball.
Yes, I'm well aware.
Hayden religiously watches baseball, so I believe Hayden.
Yeah, I'm believing Hayden. I think that
I
Hayden
have
could do
no
better
reason
than
not
most of
to
the general
believe Hayden.
managers in the league
Honestly,
right now.
I could see Hayden doing better than some of the general managers
Yeah.
in baseball. Absolutely.
I completely agree with that.
You guys just wait and see. You guys just wait and see when the Rays win this division
I'm not going to be sad at all.
and the Yankees come in third place.
Oh no.
That's what's.
Anyway, next
Go
division.
ahead. Text him, Hayden. That's what's happening. The Yankees are coming in third. I've changed my
Hayden
mind.
says he's better than the Rockies general manager for sure.
Oh, absolutely, dude. I don't think you guys understand how bad the Rockies are right now with their management. They let Nolan Arenado walk, and then normally,
I know that name.
yeah, he's really good. He's on the Cardinals now.
I didn't see this, Hayden. Sorry. First of all, I was supposed to tell you guys off because Reds pitching is pretty good.
It is pretty good, but they suck.
And then I was supposed to back up the Brewers and say the Brewers are really good. I don't know how to say that.
Let me see it.
Is a top 10 shortstop.
Willie Adames,
No, Rowdy
Rowdy
Tellez.
Telez,
No, above.
Oh, wait. Oh, Adames?
Willie
Yeah.
Adames. Yeah.
Hey, he's a top 10 shortstop, and Rowdy Tellez is a big bat.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
that,
take that, Jeremy. Thanks, Hayden.
I stand by what I said.
Well, what about all the young talent the Orioles have?
The Orioles are a year away from winning that division.
I'd give him 2.
Oh, and he's a big boy. Is what
Dude, Rowdy Telez is a big boy. You should look up a picture of him.
That's what Hayden just said. Look him up.
He's a large human.
Is he, oh man, what was his name?
Vogelbach? Danny Burgers?
Oh my God, this guy's
Dude, he's a big man. He's a big boy.
This guy is my height, but like 3 of me.
Let me see this.
Dude, he's a big boy.
He's 28 years old.
He's
He's
6.
6'4", 270 pounds.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's literally like
He's a big boy.
that guy has about 90 pounds on me, but it's the same height as me.
That guy's big.
Yeah, he is.
I'm
Oh my
trying to-
God. What? And he's a shortstop? Like,
No,
what's his play?
he's a first baseman or a second baseman.
Why do you need someone that
Bartolo
big?
Colon is what I was
Oh,
thinking
big
of.
sexy. We love big sexy.
The first baseman, Jeremy, call me out if I'm wrong here, really doesn't move all that much.
No,
right?
I'm saying like, why does he have to be that big?
He just is.
Just
He gets a lot of power.
Just put him out in the outfield.
I
and
say
have
that
him
about
just,
basketball
couldn't play
players
outfield.
all
Just
the
put
time.
his arm over the thing, and then he'll catch like half of the home runs in his direction.
All right, moving on. American League Central.
Well, I got one more question about
Yes.
the AL East.
Yes.
A lot of people have like the Blue Jays ranked pretty highly in that division.
I love the Blue Jays. Hayden hates the Blue Jays with a passion. He says they suck, and he's wrong. The Blue Jays are a very, very good team.
Incoming Jeremy hate on my phone. Give it.
Come on, Hayden.
Come on,
either Caleb or me.
Give it a call.
No, it's the Blue Jays are a very solid team. They lost a little bit offensively, but they have the best defensive
I'm
outfield in
watching
the
my
entire game.
Yeah.
And that
Start
pitching
texting
staff
me.
isn't half bad. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, they'll be very good.
It's just a tough division.
It's a super tough division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, since this is like a more competitive division and your rankings are very different from ours, what's your 5 ranking?
I've got at 5 the Red Sox
Yeah.
because they're bad.
Hayden
why
says the
five?
Blue Jays outfield moves were bad.
I know he does, and you can listen to all this on Rounding Third, where he talks and fleshes this out a little bit. But then I've got the Orioles in 4th, Yankees 3rd, Blue
Oh,
Jays
wow.
2nd, and Rays 1st.
That's a hot take.
It is.
That's a really hot take.
I stand by it though.
That's a take.
It's fair enough. All right, so let's move on to the AL Central.
AL Central. Who you guys got in the Central?
Hayden's pick is the Guardians.
Oh,
So
is it
it's
now?
my pick.
Yeah.
Well, as a miserable Minnesota fan, I am picking the Twins.
That wasn't
Yeah,
one
but
of
the
the
Twins are
options.
actually
They're decent. Yeah.
they're pretty decent.
From what I saw, it was either gonna be Twins Guardians. So I'm like, all right, we're just gonna have like favorite team bias here.
That's
what
fair.
were the Hayden options?
Guardians or White Sox.
I'm shocked he told you the White Sox over the Twins, quite honestly.
Hayden said there
I think
is
it's
an
weird
argument
that
for the
there's
Twins.
the White Sox and then there's the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you jealous of their socks?
No, I just think it's weird that there's.
No, he's jealous. Okay, continue.
I mean, I got White Sox on, so.
Okay. Why did everyone look down at their
Everyone
socks?
actually checked my socks. They're just.
Just confirm.
They're just.
Oh, I've got black socks on.
They're
so-
Adidas socks. Like.
I got no socks on.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God, his dogs are out. Straight up dogs. Put the grippers away.
All right.
Okay,
Who do you
so
have? In
the
this? You had the
Twins, yeah.
Twins. I'm taking the Guardians. They are probably the most one of the most complete teams in all of the MLB. They only got better. They added Josh Bell.
Their pitching is the best. in
Their
the league.
pitching is so good. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's so good.
Hayden says it's the best.
It's not.
It's the best of them.
It's up there. It's definitely top 3.
It's the best.
It's definitely top
Hayden said
3.
it's the best.
Look, man, Hayden
Look.
is so good at baseball, but he also can be wrong sometimes.
If.
Jeremy, I want you to say into the mic that it's the best.
The Cleveland Guardians have a top 3 pitching staff in the league. They're not the best.
All right.
Yeah, the Twins and the White Sox are just going to fall a little short, unfortunately.
That's
But,
fair.
you know, good teams, just not as good as the Guardians are.
All I know about the Twins is that Byron Buxton needs to be healthy.
Name 2 better teams
Then,
than the Guardians at pitching.
dude, this isn't off the top. I'm not going to crown them the best. I think the Mets have very good pitching, and I think they might be better. And then I think you can make an argument for the Mariners. Yeah, I think you could.
Okay. Next up is AL West.
Yeah. Speaking of the Mariners, the AL West.
It's another.
Does Hayden approve of that?
competitive
Oh yeah,
division.
he chooses the Mariners. It's actually a bit of a homer pick. He thinks that it's kind of similar to the Altuve injury that really hurt the Astros.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the big thing. I think the Astros, the defending champions, the team that's been to 6 straight AFC Championship Series, or not AFC,
AFC.
AL
When did they
Championship
move to-
Series.
And the best at cheating in all of the MLB.
Yes, but they've been to 6 straight, and they've won. They just coming off a World Series win. They are a very, very good team. They'll be able to survive the Altuve injury a little bit, and yeah, the Mariners are also very good. But what do you want?
Okay.
Say they're the best.
No. Yeah, but I've got the Astros taking this division.
Yeah, he says the Altuve injury really hurts the Astros, so the Mariners is a homer pick.
You know, I invited him to come today.
Is he free today?
Oh.
No.
Oh,
No.
that's why.
I know, he couldn't. But
One team I'm really rooting for is
Hayden
the.
just said, unfortunately, he cannot talk anymore. He is going back to work. His break is over.
boo.
We love you, Hayden.
All right, Hayden.
One thing I really want to see is the
Oh,
Angels
no.
do well.
Yeah.
You just want to see the best players in the league do well. And you want to see them make playoffs and go on those playoff runs, and they just haven't been able to do that. And this may be the team where they can sneak into a wild card.
Yeah, they probably could. Peter, who's winning this division?
Astros.
Astros.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got the Astros too.
All right, we'll run through the wild cards real quick, and then we can move on to some very important news. We'll start in the NL. There's 3 wild cards. Who does everybody have in the 3 wild card spots?
It depends who are we saying won each division.
What?
Who are we
Well, we
saying?
can just recap
Just
everything
say all 3.
once we're done.
No, but like,
Start in the NL.
So it's just
It's not
right,
one in each
so-
division. It's just the best 3 records.
All right, so
but like that matters because if we say that Atlanta didn't win the division, I'm going to say they make a wild card spot.
You should go off of your predictions.
yeah,
Okay.
so I would say we name our division winners, and then we'll go and say our wild card teams just
Okay.
to make it more clear. So for the NL East, I have the Mets winning the division. The NL Central, I have the Cardinals. For the NL West, I have the Padres, And for my wild card teams, I have the Braves, the Brewers, and the Dodgers. Not in that order.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fair.
It's a good list. I like that list. What about you, Peter? Who are your playoff teams?
All right, for the NL East, I had the Braves. For NL Central, I had the Brewers. The NL West, I had the Dodgers. And for my wild cards, I have the Mets, the Cardinals, and the Padres.
That's Cardinals Rogers.
I like it.
Thanks, Hayden.
You're welcome.
Me and Peter pretty much just had reverse wild cards and division
Yeah.
winners.
Yeah.
So I have Braves. Then I have Brewers. Then I have Padres. I think it'd be interesting if the Phillies can find a way to land themselves a wild card spot. But Mets, Dodgers, and then either Philly or just somebody else. I just don't know who I'd throw in there.
So go with Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just feel like Philly's going to be like fringe.
Yeah.
They're gonna, I feel like they'll get close, but they won't quite.
Yeah. I think it's between the Brewers and the Phillies.
Yeah.
For-
Well, I said Brewers win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But
that's why.
yeah, that's
I guess,
fair.
I guess the Cardinals could land that other.
Yeah, I think is going to be the battle there for that third wild card. I've got the Braves winning the East, the Cardinals winning the Central, and the Padres winning the West, with the Dodgers, Mets, and Brewers making it in the wild card. In the AL, I've got the Astros winning the West, the Rays winning the East, and the Guardians winning the Central. My wild cards, I have the Toronto Blue Jays, the Seattle Mariners, and then I think it's a toss-up between the Angels and the Yankees. But because I so badly want Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout to play in a playoff series, I am picking the Angels to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah.
So for my AL West, I have the Astros. AL Central, I have the Twins. And the AL East, I have the Yankees. And then my three wildcard teams are going to be the Blue Jays, the Guardians, and the Angels. Unfortunately, I'm leaving the Mariners out to Hayden's dismay.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the Blue Jays are kind of in there just because of the Canadian bias I have. But I think the Guardians are going to be, at least for my predictions, they're going to be the number one wildcard spot.
Fair. What about you, Peter?
For the AL East, I had the Yankees. For the AL Central, I had the Guardians. And then for the AL West, I had the Astros. And then I think the wild cards will be Blue Jays, White Sox, and Mariners.
All right. I got, of course, Blue Jays.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have Mariners.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of, for Hayden's sake. And then I would go with Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
Angels,
Right.
and then I think it'd be funny if your dream comes true and the Rays make it in. So I'll throw in the Rays.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
How considerate.
I know. It's so like me to be so considerate.
Yeah, you're the most considerate person I've ever met.
A little bit of sarcasm.
My sister's calling me. Does she not know I'm doing a show?
Can we answer?
Ooh, that means that I'm now the host, boys.
Yeah, do you want to answer?
Can I answer?
We can answer. Allison, you're live on the radio. What's up?
Oh gosh. Hi radio. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right. I'll talk to you
Don't
later.
beat the Black women's team.
All right. Love you. Bye-bye. Anyway.
I really was hoping she was going to start swearing.
I would have absolutely started just laughing and ending up crying from laughing.
Like it, she said, "Oh, blank."
World Series matchups, and then we'll move on real quick. Finish it out with a bang. Who's your World Series predictions?
I'm going to go against what Hayden has written for me.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Sorry, Hayden.
It's got to be the Dodgers.
Actually, no, that was actually one of the teams that he said I could pick.
Oh, well, it should be the Dodgers. I mean, Chat GPT told you.
No, I'm going to go with Mets Yankees.
I like it.
I'm going to have the scriptwriters write in a New York affair.
Mm.
I have Padres and Yankees.
Fair.
Braves, Blue Jays.
Phillies, Blue Jays.
Braves.
Braves, Blue Jays.
Braves, Blue Jays.
Braves, Blue Jays.
Yeah.
That's a good matchup.
Blue Jays, Braves.
Braves win.
I've got Astros versus Braves.
That's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's a rematch from 2 years ago. But
I
yeah,
hope the Braves win.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for indulging me with baseball, guys. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Of course.
For indulging me, I'll let you guys pick what we talk about next.
We should probably finish up the NFL free agency stuff that we missed last time.
We'll do real quickly. Let's keep a theme. We usually go hockey.
Well, no, because
No.
this week there's not a lot of hockey to talk about. It's pretty much,
Everyone still sucks.
yeah.
Everyone still enrages
I don't
us.
want to get into the pride discussion again. We kind of talked about that enough last week.
Yeah, it happened again.
It happened again. Let's just leave it at that.
People still suck.
Yeah.
We move on. Basketball. March Madness. What's going on in March Madness?
March Madness, yes. We are in the Final Four. This is one of the most unorthodox Final Fours there has ever been.
It's
This
probably
is-
the highest seeded. look
It's
that
the
up?
second highest seeded.
Oh, okay.
This has the 23 is the total. The highest ever was 26 when
Oh.
VCU made it as an 11 seed
Oh.
back in 2011, you know?
Yeah.
So this is the second highest ever. This is the first time ever that no one seed has ever made the Final
Eight.
Four or the Elite Eight for that matter.
Don't they make it? I thought that this was the
They-
first time.
The first time since seeding began.
Yeah, since seeding. I think it's. I
Yeah.
read something else.
Yeah, I guess on a technicality this has happened before, but the first time since seeding began. And, the first time since the tournament expanded to this many teams, which was back in like 85 or something. So we have 3 of the 4 teams in the Final Four have never been to a Final Four ever. That's everyone except for UConn. So we'll just
UConn,
run.
of course, has won.
Yeah, they won 9 years ago, I think, as a 7 seed.
Yep.
With Kemba Walker. It's a good team.
I couldn't remember if Kemba was on it.
Yeah, no, that was Kemba's team.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite?
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite to win?
I love San Diego State. I love how they play.
Oh, then.
They're not going to win,
Okay, I was about to say.
but I love San Diego State. It's probably UConn. That team is scary.
That was going to be my...
But if UConn loses, then I win my bracket pool. So,
What do you got, Shin?
we're not UConn fans today.
I really don't know enough about this to have an opinion, but I'll just say UConn.
Fair?
I know they're going to try and break my heart. I know FAU's trying so hard.
Why do I didn't realize you actually hated them.
I don't like them because of their stunt.
Like, I understand that, but like
It
Kansas
is-
State did the same thing against Michigan State in overtime, and there was no reaction like that.
Because I don't like Michigan State. There's a reason for that one. Yeah, I mean...
The hatred cancels out,
Right.
Well, like, there was also the issue of, like, it was a 16 seed that you did it to.
Right.
They didn't deserve it. Made me feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the reason that I was mad about it. I was
Yeah,
like,
FAU's really interesting because they didn't even win their conference. No.
No.
They're in a conference with, I think it's Furman.
Yeah.
And Furman is moving up from D2, so they're not eligible for the postseason. And they've won the conference tournament 2 years in a row. So,
Right.
So it doesn't sound like you guys are too high on San Diego State. Or
I love
Florida
San Diego
Atlantic.
State so
I-
much.
But you make it seem like between
I think
between Miami and UConn.
It's
Yeah,
so
probably. But
whoever wins that game wins.
I don't know, dude. Have you seen San Diego State's defense?
Stop.
Dude,
I'm
there's-
not. I've been silent for when you keep on saying San Diego State. San Diego State has gotten lucky 2 games in a row.
But like, they've stayed in it. They've done enough to stay in it.
They have done enough to stay in it. I think that they will make the finals.
They'll make the finals.
I think they'll make the finals. I think this is the
I'm
end of the
rooting
road
for San Diego State.
for
if they-
FAU.
I just love Mensa. I think he's
Actually,
super
I'm
fun
just
to
rooting
watch
for
play.
San Diego State because I want them to beat FAU because they ruined my boy, my poor 16 seed FTU. They ruined him.
I think that this is
Miami's to lose.
I think that's
my
very
pick is,
clear for UConn to win.
I think this is Miami's to lose. I think they can find a way to beat UConn.
If they can shoot lights out like they have been this tournament, they have a chance. Because, you can have a defense like San Diego State or UConn, but if shots are falling, shots are falling.
Let's be honest also, the only reason why Miami moved on was because of poor decisions late in the game by Texas.
But it was because Miami put so much pressure on them.
Yeah, but during that time, they went 4 or 5 minutes without a score, in which the interim head coach did not do a timeout or anything to change the momentum. He just let it continue.
But when you're a good team, you capitalize on another team's mistakes.
Yeah, but that's not really how basketball works.
There's always a little bit of both.
They've done so good
Yeah.
at capitalizing on every single chance.
Yeah,
Look at the Houston game. The Miami-Houston game was such a good game. They were lights out for quite a little while to get back into it.
I think that you guys have to also remember that this is single elimination games. It doesn't matter if they were lights out twice.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like UConn. That's why I value defense so much in the tournament. And
my only concern is how good UConn's been.
Exactly. Yeah, because UConn has been. It's the same thing with UConn. Look, that's why I love San Diego State so much. Because I understand they're not going to win, Peter. I still want to talk about them.
This is March Madness. There's 4 teams left. We got to hit all 4 teams.
I completely agree. I just don't think that there's any point with San Diego State. They don't have the scoring.
They lose to FAU?
No, they don't lose to FAU. FAU is too small for them.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to talk about San Diego State versus insert team from the other side. So we're going to talk about San Diego State. You get to hear Jeremy talk about San Diego State.
It's have to.
Happen.
You don't have a choice. We're going to talk about it next week, too.
You can go back to your farm.
But no, I just like the way they play. I know their offense is bad. It's bad. Their offense is bad. But
it's not great. They have good defense. It's not a good offense.
Yeah. And that's why when we were watching the Alabama game, I was like, they're done once they fell behind by 9.
I know. I don't know how they won that game.
Exactly, because I was convinced that if they fell down by 3 possessions, they were done.
Thank goodness. What was it? We couldn't get NBA to work. We were gonna play some NBA, and we were gonna stop watching the San Diego game because we were like, oh, it's over. And then it didn't work, and so we kept watching, and then San Diego somehow won.
But anyway, yes, I think it does come down to whoever wins Miami versus UConn, and that could be a really good game. It's going to go one of 2 ways. It's either going to be a blowout by UConn, or it's going to be a close game, and I can't tell you who wins. But Miami's not going to blow them out.
No.
What's your thoughts?
You
get to talk about UConn now. Jeremy got to talk about San Diego. You get UConn.
I think this is a clear win for UConn. Miami is honestly not the best on defense.
No, they're ranked ranked 104th in the country.
UConn is very good at getting into the paint and creating spacing for their shooters out front.
UConn also has size over Miami.
Most of their players.
Let him cook.
Most of their players are 6'6" above. They have 1 7-footer on their team. The tallest on Miami is 6'10", I believe. That's already a massive mismatch down low. I think that UConn's, I'm pretty sure I don't have the exact statistic on me, but they have been winning the board battle almost every single game in March Madness. And for anyone, I would hope here would know, is that rebounds determines who wins the game. But I think this is a clear win for UConn. When it comes to San Diego State, I think that they're unbelievably talented when it comes to defense. Like you said, Jeremy, their offense is really poor. The problem is that they haven't really run into a team yet that can outscore their defense.
Right,
So-
and you would have
Well,
thought
they did.
they did. They ran into Alabama. Alabama
but
had the
then they-
third best offense in the nation
They
this
also
year.
ran into Creighton.
Yeah,
Creighton,
but then their
yes,
defense
but-
was able to stop it.
Right, I know, but I'm
Oh, and the reason why, okay, let's be completely honest, why Creighton lost, it was because of a ref.
yes.
Yeah.
So let's not pretend that that didn't happen where it was the worst
okay.
call in like March
It's
Madness
okay.
history.
Listen, it was pretty bad. I
It was
get it.
pretty bad. You didn't even touch his shooting arm.
No, he was just kind of touching his lower back.
It
Sometimes that's all it
happens.
takes.
The worst part about it is if you see it from another angle, the ref was blocked.
Oh.
So I don't know how he saw that.
Which might be why he called it.
Yeah,
Because he
I think
couldn't
that's
see it.
yeah. I think he saw that he was really close to him, and it was like, oh, he had to have fouled him.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's how it goes. I would have really liked for the
Upstairs.
upstairs, but that's unfortunately, but also the paint ref, because the paint ref would have had a perfect view of that. So I don't know why that wasn't said. Nope. But yeah, so I think it's going to be UConn versus San Diego State. I do think that it will be interesting. I'm not saying that UConn is going to win by 30 like they did against
Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
That was not a good game.
I don't think that that's going to happen. But the reason why San Diego State will falter is because of their big guy down low, 6'10". Can't remember what his
Mensa?
name. Yeah, Mensa. I said Mensa. I think he is the reason why they've gotten this far, and he's also going to be the reason why they lose.
Why do you say that?
When the problem, like I said, with UConn is because they have such big guys down low that it creates space for. Yeah,
Oh.
that's really cool.
Sorry, I just distracted Peter.
The reason why it's such a big deal is because they have such a great presence down low that they can swing the ball out and get really easy shots in. And since primarily a lot of their teams that San Diego State has been facing has been trying to get the ball in and then get the shot out, but then their shooters aren't hitting, so then they go back in and then Mensa just starts destroying. The problem is he's also 6'10". He is very skinny, and UConn has a 7'2" guy who's not skinny, and then a 6'10" guy also not skinny. So I think that he's going to get destroyed down low. They don't have a power forward that can keep up with his defensive prowess, so they're just going to keep on passing it between, and then they're going to have open threes. So
We'll see. I'm excited for this Final Four because, it's extremely unorthodox, and the way this March Madness has been going, I wouldn't be shocked if FAU won the whole thing.
oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome, just because that way we would come here the next week and Caleb would be so upset that he just
I'm gonna be
wouldn't.
so sad if FAU plays in the final and wins.
We're gonna get to it, and it's gonna be like, and the winner of the March Madness tournament was FAU, and Caleb's just gonna stand up, slap the mic, and
And
walk out the
whenever,
door.
when I hear March Madness next week, if FAU has won, I'm walking out for a little while. I'll just listen on my phone for a little bit, which you can do. You can listen
Yeah, you can.
online.
Or on YouTube.
You can.
Yeah. But
Little promo
no, I mean,
there.
like,
Might as well.
and like I know we've dismissed FAU so far, but Tennessee
No.
Tennessee is a very similarly built team to.
Oh, wait, I get to do it now.
to-
Let Jeremy
Tennessee is a very similarly built team to San Diego State. They both had like top 5 offenses. Top 5 defenses.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they both kind of sucked on offense. And FAU was able to beat Tennessee. We saw that game. So it's not completely out of the question that they do end up beating San Diego State. So, just keep an eye out for it. Don't expect a blowout. Don't ever expect a blowout with San Diego State.
How did George Mason? I don't remember it, but I feel like Jeremy, who's a historian, will remember this. How did George Mason do when they made it when they were 12th seed, 13th seed?
They
Like,
lost.
in the Final Four. How much by?
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't watching basketball then.
Because the Miami coach is the same coach who
Oh,
coached that team.
that's really interesting.
73 to 58.
Not very good.
I think that's what's going to happen
15
with
points.
FAU in San Diego.
You think FAA wins?
No.
Okay.
No.
Good.
All right. Shane, what do you want to cover next?
Oh, I just want to say shout out to Marquise Noel. Not a huge basketball fan, but I loved
K-State
watching him.
point guard.
Yeah, I loved watching him play just because you don't see guys his height play at the collegiate level, but he was such a fun player to watch.
Just confused. Sorry, Shane. I was saying to Jeremy, I know who he is. I'm just confused because it just came out of nowhere.
No, yeah. I just
Left
wanted to
field.
shout him out, yeah. I really enjoyed watching him play.
This week's left field.
He went
moment
almost
brought
had
to
a
you by
double-double.
Possum.
Like 20 assists. He had 19 assists, 20 points. That was
Yeah.
an insane game.
No, he did great, and I'm looking forward to him getting drafted in the middle of the second round.
Yes, he played up to 215.
Yep. For those who don't know, I'm not saying that.
I was like, uh-oh.
For those who don't know, the player that we're talking about is about 5'8", and unfortunately in the NBA that essentially means you are good enough for being in the second round at the most. So
Yeah.
Is there any NFL free agency we have to...
Elias Campbell.
Calais Campbell, yeah.
Yeah.
He signed with the Falcons on a 4-year... How much money? I missed the number.
It's a big deal
It's a big deal, but
that's a very big deal.
he signed with the Falcons.
for being so old.
Calais Campbell is still very, very productive at his defensive tackle position. He is one of the...
He's just a big body.
he's a big body, and it's huge.
It's a 1-year deal.
Oh, it's only 1 year?
Yeah, that's a 1-year deal.
Someone signed a 4-year deal today.
I don't know.
Uh,
Doesn't say how much.
All right.
It's a great question. NFL's expands the Guardian helmet rule.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good. Good for
It now extends to fullbacks and running backs.
Okay.
So the only positions that are not required to wear it as of now are kickers, punters, quarterbacks, wide receivers, and defensive backs.
Also, breaking news right now. It's not major, but it is probably pretty good for my Lions. Marvin Jones Jr. will be heading back to the Lions
Ooh,
on a 1-year deal with a $3 million base value.
that's
Oh wow, that's
That's a
actually
good deal.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
yeah. Marvin Jones is good for 1 4-touchdown game a
Yeah.
season.
Hey,
I mean, honestly, I'll take anything that
they
we
were
can
one
get.
game short of postseason.
I think that he'll fit greatly as a replacement for DJ Shark in our wide receiver core. So
What's that core now?
it's
On Monra.
Jamison Williams.
Jamison
Williams.
And they have a couple people from last year.
Yeah.
They got Marvin Jones back.
Yep.
I mean, but those are the big three probably.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that's not too bad of a wide receiver. Though.
No, we just need a quarterback now.
You've always needed a quarterback.
We've always needed.
Just kidding. No, you had Matt Stafford for a while. He was good on the Lions.
Matt Stafford was a stat person on the Lions. I mean, we never did anything with him.
No,
That's not his fault though.
he was a good quarterback. It's just you guys had some pretty bad defenses,
Okay.
some awful special teams.
We had one of the greatest wide receivers of all time, and we squandered it.
Yeah. Again, not his fault.
Not, yeah.
No, not his fault.
I mean, you can't be worse than the Chargers, though.
He can be worse than Chargers.
No. Chargers were #1 offense, #1 defense, and lost the playoff game.
Yeah, but they made playoffs. So.
Or actually, no, I think they missed playoffs.
No.
I think they did that at one time and missed playoffs.
Yeah, they missed
I
playoffs.
remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, they were #1 offense, #1 defense, and they missed playoffs because their special teams was 32nd, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah. I mean, special teams is really important.
I think they let up like something stupid, like 10 kick returns or something in a season. Something bad. Like kick and punt combined.
We'll see.
Where'd Peter go?
I don't know. I was about to, I don't know if he'll be back, but we'll see.
All right.
Well, his water bottle's here, so.
So he'll be back. I think he's going to the bathroom.
Gotcha.
I mean,
Anyway,
I
Or
could
he's
try to
answering a phone call because he did grab his phone first.
spitball some hockey stuff.
we have plenty of stuff to. You go for it if you want to do hockey.
Well, what are we going to talk about?
Whatever you want.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So it's just we're coming to the end of the season, and we've
Who's your favorite to win?
Wait, hold on.
Boston, but that's kind of the cliche answer.
Before we continue,
Okay.
we've reached the top of the hour
Oh.
here on WXJM 88.7 FM, Harrisonburg, Virginia, and WXJM.org. My name is Jeremy Lapidus, host of this triple threat show, joined as always by my three friends and co-hosts,
Shane Brisland,
Peter Kegwin, and
Caleb!
Carney.
yeah.
I leaned back from my mic. I forgot I had to talk.
But yeah, we'll continue with the hockey.
Yeah.
Hockey.
So I'm just looking at the standings. So the teams that have clinched a playoff spot so far are the Carolina Hurricanes, New Jersey Devils, New York Rangers, Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs, and then the West is still pretty wide open, but there'll be teams clinching soon. And, well, Caleb asked me who's my favorite to win it. It's pretty much just Boston's to lose at this point. They may set the record for the best regular season in NHL history. So if that doesn't go to show how good that team is, I don't know what will. And their wild card team looks to either be either the Islanders, the Pittsburgh Penguins, or the Florida Panthers. If I had to guess, it's probably either going to be Pittsburgh or Florida. And on paper, Boston should absolutely walk one of those teams.
Right. I know it's Boston's to lose. I was just hoping you'd have like a really fun hot take.
Nah, it's just I just look at that roster and I'm just like I don't know what team
I
can
wanted you to
beat
say
that in a
something like
7-game series.
a fun hot take.
The New Jersey Devils.
I think it'd be
It's just like if there's a hot goalie, yeah, Boston can lose, but it's gonna take an incredible goaltending performance to knock Boston out.
One of my friends who doesn't even watch hockey came up to me and they were like, "Yo, the NJ Devils made it," and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, that was a big surprise. I really want to see them face the New York Rangers because that would be a fun rivalry game. Because you got
It's not even a rivalry. That game's not even gonna be close.
What do you mean it's not gonna be close?
The Devils aren't good.
Yes, they
Yes,
are.
they are.
They wouldn't be doing this well if they weren't good.
I don't think they'll make it past the Rangers.
No, I don't. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I don't think they would win that 7-game series.
No.
But it would be a
Maybe
fun
out of
series to watch,
5.
though. It would be a fun series to watch because the Devils have the underdog mentality because they are young. Jack
They're no-
Hughes is one of the most young
They're
and
no
exciting
Brock
players in the
Purdy
league.
team.
And then the Rangers just have a lot of star power. One team I'm really low on, though, is the Carolina Hurricanes. They just remind me too much of
First round exits.
Yeah,
They're like UVA in basketball. First round
exactly.
exits.
And they don't even have they don't have a star player. They're more of like a team that does it by committee.
Poor UVA.
Catching strays out here
Yeah.
on random.
I saw something recently that said UVA's most recent, once again, first round loss just proves that they are that their win was a fluke.
Yeah.
And I was like, poor UVA.
Yeah, UVA's constantly catching strays over basketball now.
Nope, it doesn't matter. They got one.
Yeah, they have their
That's all that
championship.
matters. They've got their ring. They're hanging it in the rafters.
But yeah, back to Carolina.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's just they remind me of Minnesota, where they back in the late 2010s, where Minnesota was just a really deep team, but they just had absolutely no star power, and that's what Carolina's reminded me of, and that's not a good thing. It's just time and time again it shows you need star players to win playoff games. So I don't think they could make a run, but I don't think they'll ever win a cup unless they find like a superstar.
Right.
And then the West is still pretty... Standings could go anywhere at this point. If a team goes on a streak as of late, they could win their respective divisions. But one thing that has surprised me the most is how well Minnesota has done without Kirill Kaprizov. If you told me the Minnesota Wild lost their best player and somehow were a better team because of it, I would not have believed you. But Matthew Boldy has really stepped up in Kirill Kaprizov's absence. He has he's averaging over like 2 points a game. He's had like 2 hat tricks in his past 10 games. He's really been lighting it up, and
It's so
they
hard
could
to
win the
look at
division.
Shane through this little gap.
Yeah, I see you eyeing me up.
Like
from
me
there.
and Shane try to talk to each other, but we're like, I have a clear line of sight to Jeremy. I have a clear line of sight to Peter. And then like me and Shane try to talk hockey, and I can't focus on Shane because I have this fifth mic
Can move it.
that should be absolutely taken by Hayden Raymer.
Mm.
Hayden, come back.
Hayden, come home.
Well, that just made it worse. Now I have to
I know.
Yeah. The West is really interesting
Yeah.
because there's not like the true top dog. I know like the Stars are up there and
Colorado.
Colorado's back up there and Vegas is up there again, but like there's not like a true number one type.
Yeah, where I can see somebody be like the contender out there.
Right.
This mic's off, don't worry.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
What's interesting
you were looking
though
at it, so I was
is
Always. It's
the
right in
wild
front
card
of me.
race, because
No,
Winnipeg
no,
has fallen off a cliff in terms of production. They haven't been good lately, and I thought Calgary was out of it until Winnipeg started slipping, and Seattle started slipping a bit too. So it looks like for those final 2 spots, it's between Seattle, Winnipeg, and Calgary. I mean, Nashville's still in there, but it's a long shot.
Who's making it? Who's missing it?
I've been saying the entire year I think Calgary's going to be in it, so I'm not going to give up on Calgary until they actually lose. I think Winnipeg falls out of all teams. They're just really inconsistent. Too inconsistent for me. And honestly, I think if any team can
So
go
who's
on
who's the final against?
I think for the Western Conference, I think it's the Oilers. Because
So you have Oilers versus
Boston. But I think Boston wins the whole thing just because they're a deeper team. Because the Oilers, they'll outscore all their problems.
Have the Oilers clinched yet?
No, but they're pretty solidly in a playoff spot right now. And Connor McDavid is just by and far the best player in the league. He's one of the most dominant players in the league. Like, he just hit 60 goals. He may have a 70-goal season, which is insane. He may reach 150 points. He's probably going to go down. I think he'll be better than Crosby and Ovechkin by the end of his career.
Oh, of course.
By the end of his career?
Well, legacy-wise, I think he'll be better.
I mean, yeah, like when you can do the stuff that he's doing,
Yeah.
it's not just goal scoring, it's everything else as well. It's kind of insane.
He just needs to win his championship.
Yeah.
Because you can't be...
Yes, you can. You know what? I think that's stupid. I think you can, and I think that people should not have that criteria. And
You need a team, not just yourself.
Exactly.
It's not all banked on you.
Yeah.
Like if this was like gymnastics.
I'm just wondering what the sound quality is like over there.
You can see it.
Is there like an echo, or is just Caleb's voice just louder
don't-
when you use 2 mics?
I have 3 mics.
It is 3 points.
Oh, is it on?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Jeremy turned them all live, so
Yeah.
here I am.
Oh, God.
I just see Jeremy go, oh God, and just start pressing buttons.
No, you were peeking on all of them. I had to move them down a bit.
But
So, do you think you need to win a championship if you want to be considered one of the greatest
No.
of all time in your sport?
By the public, yes, and I think it's stupid because, like you guys were saying, you need a whole team. I could be the most amazing baseball player in the history
That's a
of
different
baseball.
sport, though.
I could say the same thing for hockey. I could score every time. That's not true. Then I'd win every time. But hypothetically, I could score every time I shot the puck, no matter where I was. And I still didn't win a championship. I should be the greatest of all time. I thoroughly believe that. It doesn't matter. It should. it shouldn't. It shouldn't matter, but it does. You know, it just does, and it's stupid.
Like, I disagree though, because at the end of the day, sports is all about winning, and if you can't win, then what's the point?
What do you mean?
It's just, to be a good athlete, you have to win, not just producing a bunch of points. No one cares if you produce a bunch of points and you don't win. So
Well,
I think having at least one championship solidifies you as
Oh,
one of
absolutely.
the best player of all time, because it shows that you have completed the end goal and that you can be a team player
Do
and
you
you've
think
led a
that
team.
Randy Moss should be one of the best wide receivers of all time?
But he's not going to be the best of all time. But
No,
he's up
because
there.
Jerry Rice is
Yeah.
Jerry Rice.
Well, Jerry Rice is Jerry Rice. Peter, you can
Yeah.
take your mic, please.
Well, Jerry Rice also won Super Bowls.
Can we?
Yeah, but Jerry Rice didn't win Super Bowls. His team won Super Bowls.
Yeah, but I feel like if you're going to be best player of all time, like McDavid could be, at least for his era, I think the Stanley Cup, especially if we're going to talk about better than Crosby and Ovechkin, I think he has to win a cup, at least one, if he wants to be considered better than Crosby and Ovechkin by the end of his career.
Do you think Chris Carter's a really good wide receiver?
I do.
Do you think he's the best of all time?
No, it's Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
It's Jerry Rice.
I mean, Jerry Rice is the top in every single statistic.
That's true. But, like, wide receivers who, never won a ring, it's not their fault.
I mean, let's be honest though. LeBron.
How does this affect his legacy?
How does
But again, it
affect
kind of
his
varies
legacy?
from sport to sport, because stuff like where one player can have more of an individual impact than others. Like if you're a kicker for a team, you don't need a championship to be considered the best of all time, because you may not even get to kick in a championship.
Do you
game.
know Dan Marino?
Yeah, I know Dan Marino, yeah.
Dan Marino, before Tom Brady was consensus best of all time, there was always the argument
Of Joe Montana.
of Joe Montana and Dan Marino.
Yeah.
Dan Marino is titleless. Dan Marino is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm not going to say he is.
No, I'm not. I'm not shaking my head because.
And I think that's a really good example. People still hold Dan Marino up as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Well, yeah, because if you look at his statistics in a league when it was primarily running back based, your entire offense went through your running back. His statistics are astronomically high.
Yeah, it's insane the numbers he put up. He never won a title. Should that take him out of the conversation? I don't think so.
To put in perspective, his numbers are commensurate with players like Patrick Mahomes today, even though
Yeah.
it's a much different league.
Mm-hmm.
But like my counter argument is football is a completely different sport though, because there's a lot more people on a team and you
Shane,
have a lot less impact.
If I could pull hockey players out of my head like Dan Marino, I would give you a hockey example.
Yeah.
I can't give you a hockey example.
Well, that's why it's frustrating to talk about hockey with you, because it's like you have to pull out these other.
I'm trying real
For
hard
examples,
to give you a hockey
But I
example.
still stand if we want to say McDavid is better than Ovechkin and Crosby. If not, he needs to win a championship if he wants to be on the same, like, legacy-wise league as them.
But how does this affect Gwyneth Paltrow? The look that I just got from Peter is amazing.
Oh, there we go. Jumbo Joe. He never won.
Yeah,
He's pretty good.
but he's not. I would say he's not as good as.
I
I'm
don't
saying
think
Crosby and
Jeremy heard what
Ovechkin.
I said.
I heard everything you said.
Yeah.
I'm just choosing to ignore it.
Yeah, he's definitely not as good as Ovechkin or Crosby.
You're right, because Ovechkin and Crosby are first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah,
Right?
and McDavid is already a first ballot. Hall of
Exactly.
Famer.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to. Ovechkin would have been a first ballot Hall of Famer regardless of if he won.
Yes,
Right? Same thing with Sidney Crosby. It
but at least winning that championship at least closes the gap a bit.
I think it's stupid that's what it does. I understand it does, and I understand when you're looking at it, that's what it does, but it's stupid, and I hate that it does affect
Yeah.
so much of what truly is a team game. He's out there for maximum a third of the game, right?
Yes,
He's not going...
a little more than the third, but yeah, I digress.
Yeah. He's not going to be out there for more than 25 minutes of a game. He's probably going to average around 20 minutes. When you are only playing a third of the game, you can only affect a third of the game. There's double what you are that happens when you in the game you're playing, and now you individually are being judged based on 2/3 of a game that you did not play. And I understand that it's important, but when you're trying to just judge individuals, you should only take individual awards. And I firmly believe that. And you can take team context, but if you're saying that just because he hasn't won a championship, that's the sole reason he can't be better than this guy, it's stupid.
Gotcha. I get that. Do you have any say on like who are your 2 championship NHL teams for this year?
We just circled back so calmly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to do a little bit more, but I think the Bruins are real good out of the East. Kind of, I want to pick the Maple Leafs. I really do.
They gotta make it past the first round first.
I know they do. And then the Stars. I like the Stars a lot. Jake Ottinger is wonderful. He's so good at hockey. Yeah. That's my matchup right there.
Yeah, I'm just not.
I know it's not very exciting, right?
Yeah, I'm just like of all teams, it's just Dallas isn't just that wouldn't be a fun final to watch because the Dallas Stars it's not McDavid, you know.
Yeah, you're right.
It's not Nathan McKinnon and Cale Makar.
I don't know.
It's
You've
just
got
the big name players.
Rupe Hintz and
Yeah.
and Justin Robertson. Justin. Jason. I knew it was a J.
Yeah.
Just dance.
Yeah. You know, it's just we'll see. They've got plenty. They've got exciting people on their roster.
I will say though, I think if a team could beat Boston, I feel like God, Toronto's such a good team.
I know, right?
It's just they're cursed though. I don't know if I can ever pick them though. Cause like I've seen them play, and they're such a fun team to watch. Like they're forward, they have so much forward depth. But I just don't trust their goaltending. But I can see them do it if they weren't constantly losing in the first round every year.
Should we talk about NBA Hall of Fame?
Yeah, let's touch on that. The NBA Hall of Fame finalists were announced.
You want me to say?
Can I give a really funny fun fact from this past weekend?
Yes,
Go for
please.
The XFL once again played this weekend, and one of the games was, funnily enough, had a very strange penalty. I just got nailed in the head with a stuffed possum.
Perfect throw.
It was actually a really good throw.
Especially with the bad arm.
Yeah. So, this past weekend, actually, on Monday night, the XFL's DC Defender played the Houston Roughnecks. The game was already in the third quarter. It was 23-8, with DC, of course, being up, because DC is actually good. Shout out to DC. And a ref threw a flag in between plays for seemingly no reason, until the referee hopped on the mic and said that number 3 has just sprayed me with water. Houston received an unsportsmanlike conduct for 15 yards because one of the bench players decided it was a great idea to spray a ref with a water bottle after he received a penalty that he thought he did not earn. If you go back and you look at the penalty, he absolutely earned it. It's a defensive holding call, and he was absolutely holding that man, like jersey and everything, and he sprayed the ref down and then received an unsportsmanlike conduct, which is absolutely hilarious if you ask me. That's a funny way to end up giving up a touchdown, because DC would then go in to score on the following play.
Yeah. I had some teammates who would, like, if a guy was standing next to the bench, they would spray water on them. It was so funny, and it's just like, it's hard for the ref to see it, but it's just fun to see the player's reaction.
Well, it's funny to do it against a player, but when
Yeah.
you do it to a ref,
That-
the ref's
that's a-
going to absolutely...
Yeah, it's like, what do you
overreact.
think is gonna happen?
Like, the ref's absolutely going to turn around, and there's no way
Yeah.
the ref's going to be like, oh, I guess it's raining.
Yeah, you're gonna F around and find out.
Like,
Oh, like when it was raining lemons.
yeah. Oh, the Lemons made a return, and we went week 2. So the Lemons made a return week 3.
We went week 1.
Oh, was that week 1?
That was week 1.
Oh, they made a return whatever the following home game was
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the game because security was like, all right, it's the end of the game. Take the beer snake down, and they were trying to make him take it down at the end of the game. And then the Lemons started... I don't know
That
who...
security team is the dumbest group of security team
Yeah.
in the entire world.
And the Lemons started coming back, and then they were like, all right, give him the snake. Give it back.
Yep.
And then at the end of this previous Monday night game, cameras showed that the people that had the beer snake actually calmly disassembled it and placed it in trash cans.
Ooh.
Good for them.
So, it looks like all they're doing is just helping the cleanup crew.
Yep. All right. NBA.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So there were a bunch of people that were elected to the NBA Hall of Fame.
That was nominated.
Nope, elected.
Okay.
Oh.
No, these are finals.
Nope, these are elected.
Jeremy, I'm reading.
I
finals.
also am reading it. The people that were elected to the Hall of Fame are among finalists being elected into the Hall of Fame.
They're among finalists.
Being elected.
Who have been elected?
They are in the Hall of Fame.
Hmm.
Including Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Greg Popovich, Pau Gasol, Tony Parker, and Becky Hammond. Yeah, these are the This is the Hall of Fame class. Greg Popovich gets in as a coach. Everyone else is in as a player. Thoughts?
Tony Parker should not be all of them.
Tony Parker is a weird one, isn't he?
I like Popovich.
Well, yeah, I mean, Popovich has the most wins ever.
I'm a big Popovich fan.
I mean, I feel like Dwayne Wade was an obvious one, right? Because I feel like I even heard of him before I learned anything about basketball.
Yeah.
Did you hear about LeBron James?
No, I haven't actually.
Oh. Let me tell you about the NBA's Lord and Savior, LeBron James.
I heard something that he has a legacy or something.
Yeah, and it might be affected by everything on planet Earth. Especially Fortnite.
Yeah. Let's switch up that. Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, and Greg Popovich, all very clear, were eventually going to make it and deserved to make it. Tony Parker, absolutely not. Pau Gasol,
He's borderline.
I think he's borderline, but I think he's on the wrong
I agree.
side of the border, as in he shouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
And I don't know enough about Becky Hammond to make a judgment call.
She deserved to get in. She's very good.
So, congratulations to all of them. Tony Parker, I have no idea how you weaseled your way into there. I guess scoring 8 points a game is good enough now to make the NBA Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but he won like 5 titles.
Yeah, and you stick anyone in that position, and they would have done the exact same thing. They had, I'm blanking on his name.
Tim Duncan.
They literally had Tim Duncan,
Robinson.
and a young Kawhi Leonard at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Manu coming off the bench.
and even Manu was better than him.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Parker, the first time that he left the Spurs,
He left when he was washed, though, to be fair.
to be fair, it doesn't matter when he left. He would have still been like immediately removed because he's horrible. So, I mean, I have no good things to say about Tony Parker. Pau Gasol, borderline. He was very, very good for Kobe Bryant in those 2 championship wins. But, yeah. The other 3, and, other 4, other than those 2, deserve it. So, but that also means that Draymond Green is going to get in.
It does,
and
doesn't
that
it?
day when that comes is going to make me very sad.
Ugh, that's gonna
Because
suck.
if Tony Parker made
He
it,
is better than Tony Parker.
Draymond Green is better than Tony Parker. I mean, at this point, let DeMar DeRozan into the Hall of Fame.
DeMar DeRozan's pretty borderline too. He's better than Tony Parker
The
though.
NBA Hall of Fame has become such a terrible thing, and it bothers me so much. It's the most useless Hall of Fame there is.
Why do you say that?
Because at least in other sports, they actually have pride in the people that they let in.
Do they?
More than the NBA.
Well, it's hard with the NBA because they have to let a certain amount of people in, and there's just so many fewer people.
Do you remember when Derrick Rose they were saying, will he make the Hall of Fame? And people were like, well, he should because he's MVP and every single MVP has made it. I guarantee you he makes it now if they're letting Tony Parker in.
He's not a Hall of Famer. I love Derrick Rose, but he's not a Hall of Famer.
He's more of a Hall of Famer than Tony Parker.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Real quick before we end the show. Lamar Jackson.
What do you do this time?
A lot of things happened. A couple more developments. Teams still haven't offered him anything.
He's demanded
He's
a trade.
demanded a trade as of March 2nd. It came out on Monday, though.
So my speculation with that is he demanded a trade March 2nd, but they said, hey, let's work this out because prior to his statement on Twitter on Monday, an inside source said they had been making contract negotiations as earlier the previous week. So my guess is they were like, he said, well, then trade me on March 2nd. And they're like, no, let's discuss more. And then this most recent round of contract negotiations, he probably was like, we're not getting anywhere. There's no point in this. And then decide to make it public, which he's hoping will make it so it puts a little bit more pressure on the Ravens to actually do something, which they won't.
No, because they have all the leverage here.
It's literally
Like, they're not going to get a better deal than... They're not going to get a much better deal than 2 firsts. Which, if he signs somewhere, they're going to get 2 firsts.
And I think everyone's kind of learned from, no, that's not a good example. Quarterbacks are getting paid a huge amount, and I don't know if a team has especially a contending team, has the room to sign a quarterback for that much.
No. Lamar Jackson, Jeremy and I were speaking about this on Monday because we were working out together literally as the news dropped about it. And we were talking about it while working out, and we both had a very similar sentiment of the guy is a top 5 quarterback, but he's such a problem that no team is going to try and offer him that amount of money. Another interesting thing that broke recently was the Packers. Packers said that they didn't need a first-round pick. So the question really is what are the Jets offering? Because everyone thought it was because they were insisting on a first.
Dude, the Jets are totally offering,
Two
a
fifths.
3rd and a 5th and a conditional 6th.
I could imagine them just offering 2 fifths and say, take it or leave it. My guess is, in all seriousness, is that the Packers are very serious that they want Garrett Wilson. They're like, we'll give you Aaron Rodgers, we'll take we'll take a second and Garrett Wilson.
Look,
and
if
guys
you
get
give us
Aaron Rodgers.
Alan Lazard,
And I think that's and I think that's the responses that they are saying, we're not going to give you Garrett Wilson.
look, the Packers clearly are just asking for Alan Lazard back. They want Alan Lazard, they want Randall Cobb, and they want a 2nd-round pick.
Could you imagine if the Jets signed Odell Beckham Jr. and then traded Odell Beckham Jr. to finish the trade?
I think Odell would retire.
I think it'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious. Oh my god.
And if Odell did retire, I would be so happy because I hate the Packers. So,
Why do you...
Yeah,
I guess never mind.
what?
I was going to ask why you
Why
hated
you
the
hate
Packers, and then I remembered you're a Lions fan, so I was
Yeah,
thinking
I wonder why I hate the
Yeah.
Wait, when did
Packers.
I get both possums?
they were thrown at you,
yeah.
probably, at some
I
point.
threw one right at your head.
Well, yeah, I know. I remember that one. I don't remember getting the little
I
one.
thought you always had the little
You
one.
picked it up off of the floor.
That was good. I have some fantastic memory today.
Do you have any thoughts on Lamar Jackson or Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers needs to retire. Sick of him. Sick of hearing of him. Tired of it. I don't want to do it anymore. And then Lamar Jackson, just pay the man.
How much would you be willing to pay him?
No,
Not
don't
that
pay
much.
the man.
What does that mean? How much? If you're the GM and Lamar
Settle
Jackson
for
says
less.
yes to any reasonable offer, how much are you paying him?
What did they offer him?
They offered him 3 years, fully guaranteed, $133 million.
So that comes out to what a year?
That would come out to a little bit over 42 million a year, around
I think-
43.
My limit would be like 38.
Really?
Maybe a Daniel Jones style contract, 40 a year.
Yeah, he's not good.
He's not taking less than Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He's not. If Daniel Jones is getting that type of money, Lamar Jackson is going to say nope.
Well, that's too bad when he can't play running back anymore. No, just kidding. Who is that? Who does that one? Who does the running back? Lamar Jackson's a running back bit?
Isn't he?
No, it's not one of us.
Probably is like some ESPN person.
Yeah,
This is-
Skip Bayless.
probably. I don't know.
I don't know.
I do feel for Lamar Jackson in the sense of he thinks he deserves more money, and he probably does deserve. He definitely deserves more than Daniel Jones. But the problem is that, as a lot of GMs have been saying, is that Deshaun Watson's contract has ruined the quarterback market.
I think that was the Browns' plans. Not gonna lie.
That'd be hilarious if that was
The
their plan.
Browns were like, "We're
They're
getting
never
a quarterback
gonna win
finally."
anything, so they just cause chaos.
Yeah, they're like, "We've gave away our entire future. We're just gonna pay our quarterback an unreasonable amount of money."
And we're also about to see, because it's now extension time.
For a
So
lot of people.
for a lot of people, Jalen Hurts.
A lot of young people too.
Jalen Hurts has been a really big name because the Eagles essentially said, I think it was today, they essentially said, we don't care how much he costs, he's our franchise.
Yeah, and the Eagles are probably going to try and sign him as soon as possible, so they don't have to wait for after Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert and Tua all signed.
Tua Tunga
I don't think
Tua Tunga Vailoa.
Yeah, I
think
wasn't
the
trying to say his
Dolphins-
last name. I was just trying to say sign a contract.
I don't think the Dolphins will try to extend him until after this year.
Right.
That's fair.
Because,
Until he can stay healthy for a season.
yeah, because if the dude comes into this season and then
Gets another concussion.
his head starts rattling around off of the floor again, and then they're just like, come on, Tua, get up, and he falls down again. I think that they'll find somewhere else. They'll probably call up Tom Brady. I'm sure his cat will be fully grown by that point, so it can take care of itself.
I'm looking at the highest paid quarterbacks. I think, yeah, he should earn somewhere between, like, upwards between 43 million and 50 million a year.
Lamar.
Yeah, I think that's what he's probably looking for. And
What's what's the cap space nowadays? 200 mil?
225-ish.
I think 225 is the cap. I'm not giving my quarterback.
It was 216 last year.
I just
I
feel
don't
like
remember
Kyler
what it is
Murray's
this year.
getting paid 46.1 million a year.
Kyler Murray's
It's not
very good.
guaranteed, though.
It's not.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it is.
No, it's not.
It's incentives. There's incentives.
I thought Kyler's was
You have to
fully
remember that
guaranteed.
Kyler has a really bad problem with homework, and so they aren't going to guarantee it.
The NFL set the cap at 22.4.8.
All right.
I'm not giving my quarterback a fourth of my cap space.
Unless it's Patrick Mahomes.
He's not even getting that much. Patrick Mahomes is getting
45 million a year
right.
for the next 10 years.
And a lot of that is incentive based. Most of it is actually.
I don't know.
We'll have to see. But, that's just how it goes. We'll cover a lot more of this and any more crazy stuff that's happening in sports next week on the Triple Threat Show.
Who won the Super Bowl?
We thank you so much for tuning in this
Yeah,
week to the Triple Threat Show
The Texans, right?
on
Yeah,
WXJM 88.7 FM, Harrisonburg, Virginia.
I know, it's the
and
Vikings.
WXJM.org. Also live on YouTube at the Triple Threat Show. We have a Twitter at the Triple Threat Show and a Twitter at 3 Threat Show and an Instagram at the Triple Threat Show.
What's on Instagram?
Shane, what's on Instagram?
I used to post stuff.
We'll
but
post our
I haven't
MLB
done it.
predictions on Instagram. That's what we're gonna
Can we do a
do.
really cool chart thingy?
Yeah, we can do a really cool chart thing.
Let's go. Chart thingy.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Good night.
My bad. I had to pee so badly.
Swear.
I drank this entire bottle before.